Hey everyone, I hope everybody is enjoying their Friday, the last day of July. Just to let everybody know that it is Leo season and my birthday will be August the 16th. So make sure that you all give me a big happy birthday this year. I'll be the big 37. Wow. 37 years old. Can't believe it. Almost 40. Yeah, I understand. That's okay. But like I say, I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. Make sure to enjoy your weekend. Do everything in your power to still practice social distancing. I know that everybody's ready to get back on center and continue or finish trade. Get their high school diplomas, their GEDs. I completely understand. Just make sure that you're using this time wisely. Make sure that all of the TARs that we're putting on Google Classroom and that we are sending in packets, make sure that you're completing it in a timely manner. Send those packets back. Any TAR that you have completed, make sure you send it back. Don't just let it sit there because you only needed one TAR out of the packet. I completely understand. Just make sure that you are sending those back, okay? So the purpose of this video is to talk about effective communication. Effective communication, that is on TAR E, in your E-TARs, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to define what effective communication is. It is the faithful reproduction of a thought, idea, observation, instruction, request, greeting, or warning expressed in a verbal, written, electronic, alarm, enunciation, or pictorial media. Again, effective communication, the term faithful reproduction means that whatever was contained in the original message that left the communicator is both received by and understood by the receiver or the receiver group. So if you're talking to somebody or if you're talking to a group of people, you want to make sure that everything you say they understand. And the only way to make sure that people understand what you're saying is their body language or the questions or feedback that they give you based on what you said or the message that you were trying to communicate to them. All right, so next we're going to go into due diligence. Due diligence, businesses are required by law to establish and maintain what is called due diligence. Okay, in layman's terms, that means operating their affairs by paying close attention to the best welfare and interests of the visitor's safety and security needs. So every company, no matter what, they have to make sure that they pay attention to things that could happen. Okay, just things that could happen. All right, to comply with this mandate, business must conduct risk analysis or vulnerability assessments, integrated countermeasure design, security officer training, employee security awareness training, and contingency planning. However, without effective communication, none of these practices and procedures could exist. Thus, effective communication is a key element in assisting businesses in meeting their mandate to provide proof of compliance with required levels of due diligence. Okay, so due diligence, in my terms, is just being thorough. Being thorough in everything that you do. You have to pay diligence or due diligence to those things. Okay. The 6 essentials of effective communication. Effective communication must be timely, complete, clear, concise, factual, and accurate. Okay, this is a bare bones list of requirements. Certainly, the complete list includes other attributes, but if these 6 factors are present, communications will be extremely effective. Okay. So when you're talking to somebody, one thing that you have to do is consider the audience. Who's your audience? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to a group of kindergartners? Or are you talking to a college group, a church group? Regardless of the audience, you have to consider who they are. Everyone communicates at different levels. If you are communicating with someone who is many levels below your communication level, then the messages you're sending stands a good chance of being misunderstood. Okay. The 7th grade level is the midpoint in the year 2002 when this chapter was written, but the midpoint level will be adjusted lower in the future years as our nation's school continue to turn out more literate people. Not illiterate, more literate people. That means they're able to understand, read, and write. Okay. Also, assuming that everyone speaks and understands on your level is almost a guarantee that you'll be an ineffective communicator. The midpoint between talking above your audience and talking below your audience is currently that 7th grade level. If you want to perfect clarity in your communications, then speak slowly, carefully, choose your words, using no more than 5 or 6 letter words, and choosing words that are commonly known. In many cases, when asked to repeat a message, the receiving persons usually use different words. Okay, it's very likely that the receiver's vocabulary is lacking. Thus, each time you are requested to repeat a message, say it in a different way. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is verifying that communication with feedback. We were just talking about that. It is of the utmost importance that the receiver of a message give you some kind of indication that he or she receives the message and that the message they received is the same one that you sent. It's a lot of words. Making sure that people or the person or that you're speaking with understands exactly what you sent. Okay. Some of the myths and misconceptions in communication is there is one misconception that causes more errors than any other in the communication field, and that is that it's called brevity, or keeping each and every communication as brief as possible. So if I want to talk to you about something, I want to make sure that you understand, make sure that it is brief. You don't want to fill somebody's head up with all kinds of information and expect them to be able to relay it or know everything or remember everything that you all talked about. Okay, so brevity, brevity, brevity. Okay, make sure that you all remember that. So next we're going to talk about means of communication, whether it's by just a telephone, two-way radio, pagers, intercoms, no matter what, just using those things to communicate. Okay. There are so many different ways to communicate verbally. And you have to make sure that every time you communicate verbally, again, that you are paying attention to who you're talking to, making sure that they understand exactly what you're sending, and them having feedback or giving you some type of feedback saying that they understand or that they get exactly what you're trying to say. Okay. One thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is the phonetic alphabet. So the military designed this phonetic alphabet, which helped communication when talking over those two-way radios, intercoms, or pagers. A lot of different companies use different types of 10 codes, what they call 10 codes, 10 codes. All right. So those 10 codes lets the receiver or receivers or whoever has a walkie-talkie or are able to hear that message understands exactly what that code is. So if they say that we have a 187 on this street or this particular street, then what does that mean? Everybody knows that 187 is homicide. Okay, so the receiver understands exactly what the sender was trying to put out. Okay, so those are parts of the 10 code, the phonetic alphabet. Again, that goes through every letter of the alphabet, A being Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, Lima. So it goes through the whole alphabet, and when they send a code out over the walkie-talkie or the two-way radio, then they want to make sure that the people who I'm talking to understands what I'm trying to say, and people on the outside really can't comprehend everything that I'm trying to say. So when you're talking in code, you're talking so that only the receiver or receivers understand exactly what you're saying, okay? So pretty much that's effective communication and understanding what you're saying, making sure you're paying attention to everything that you're putting out, making sure that everybody who you're putting it out to understands what you're putting out, okay? If y'all have any questions about effective communication, we are going to have a test or a quick quiz on effective communication that will be posted onto Google Classroom later. All right, so thank you guys for listening. Hopefully this video isn't too long. Make sure that you understand, or I hope that you understand, everything that I was trying to put into this video, as brief or using as much brevity as possible. Okay, guys, thank you.